Hey, how's it going, everyone? MBG here with a rare Sunday upload. I don't really put videos out on Sundays because that's when I do my podcast. So, if I'm putting out a video on Sunday, it must be something that I think is pretty important. And one of the reasons I want to cover this is because what we're about to talk about could be something that is announced or revealed as soon as tomorrow. It might not, but nonetheless, I wanted to get this out because I've seen a lot of people talking about it. So before we dive into this information, do me a favor, hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. But we are heading over to Greg Miller's Twitter account. I'm sure many of you are familiar with who Greg Miller is. He is well known within the gaming and PlayStation community. He's over there at Kinda Funny Games, and you have to assume that somebody like Greg Miller is pretty well connected to some good sources within the industry. So he took to Twitter about 4 hours ago and he says this: man, looking like it might be a very interesting week for PlayStation if even one of the 3 rumors I've heard is true. As such, we are going to delay recording PS I Love You XOXO until Thursday, and that is their PlayStation podcast. So this has caught a lot of attention, understandably so, because first of all, I highly doubt Greg Miller would be tweeting something like this. He's not really somebody we talk about when it comes to somebody teasing out potential announcements or, being a potential insider. But given his position, it seems to me that it's unlikely he would be saying something like this if he wasn't getting some pretty significant info from some potentially very reliable sources. But there's something I do want to point out here. He says that if even one of the 3 rumors he's heard. So what he's saying is that he hasn't heard just one rumor, he's heard 3 separate rumors, and they're all big enough that if even one of them turns out to be true, or if one of them is what Sony ends up announcing, it's going to be pretty insane and pretty huge. And again, this has caught quite a bit of attention, and it's getting people worked up, and they're beginning to speculate like crazy about what it is he could be talking about. Now, it's worth noting, Greg Miller has not hinted at what these rumors are. He has not divulged any information as of the time of this recording, and it's unlikely that he will. But again, he's somebody who's connected enough that if Sony is about to do something major, there's a chance that he and other people who are also well connected across the industry are going to start to hear about it right before it's about to go down. Now, we did just come off of Bloomberg claiming that Project Spartacus is set to be announced this upcoming week, and I have no doubt that that's going to happen. And the big question is this what he's talking about? Is Greg Miller referring to Project Spartacus? I don't know that I believe he is, only because we've heard quite a bit about Project Spartacus, this new service that Sony's planning to reveal, and it doesn't seem to be generating this type of excitement. The type of excitement I'm talking about is the kind that says this is going to be pretty insane, this is going to be a big deal, a big reveal. I think people are anticipating a pretty moderate reveal for Spartacus and a pretty moderate reaction as well. That is, unless Sony has something hidden up their sleeve that has not leaked out, that we do not know about in regards to this service. That is absolutely a possibility, and that could absolutely be something that Greg Miller is referring to here. But this has led people to think outside of Spartacus. They're beginning to think maybe he's talking about a potential acquisition. Now, that would make a lot of sense as well. Sony has been on a bit of an acquisition spree themselves lately. Their most recent was Haven Studio. Before that, it was Bungie, and Jim Ryan did make it crystal clear that they are far from done making studio acquisitions. There has been quite a lot of talk around a big acquisition, something much bigger than Haven Studio and even bigger than Bungie. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I don't think anybody really knows, and I'm not leaning towards that so much, only because when it comes to studio acquisitions, that doesn't seem to be something that leaks out. If you think about it, we really haven't heard pretty much anybody come out before an acquisition saying, hey, these guys are about to get acquired. That just doesn't seem to happen. So I'm thinking it's not an acquisition. Some people are thinking this is in relation to PlayStation VR 2. I think that's definitely a real possibility. We know that Sony is showing some demos off to developers behind closed doors. We know that Sony's going to have a lot to say and a lot to show when it comes to PSVR 2. So That certainly could be it. We could see Sony come out here and announcing some type of big partnership with a publisher or something. We could find out that they bought some IP. We could see the announcement of a new IP. We could see the announcement of Metal Gear or Silent Hill or anything like that. All I know is that apparently Greg Miller has heard 3 separate rumors. All 3 of them are big to the point where even if only one of them gets announced, it's going to be a very big deal. And so this is pretty exciting. You know, I'd say this is pretty exciting. I don't want people to get their expectations too high. I know that it sounds weird for me to say that because I basically just spent this video hyping you up, but it's hard not to, because again, Greg Miller's not a person we really talk about very often because he doesn't really say things like this that often. And so you really got to wonder what is about to go down. Sounds like PlayStation is getting ready to make some waves, and I'm all for it. You know, I hope that whatever it is exciting, and it does kind of leave us in a state of like, whoa, that is crazy. That is awesome. But we also have to understand that Greg Miller could be making things sound bigger than they actually are, or his sources could maybe not be so great. Although I don't think that's likely, only because if you're willing to announce the delay of your podcast recording because of what you heard, you must trust these sources and have a pretty good idea that, yeah, something is going to go down. So at this point, I'm going to ask you guys to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I will be very interested to see what you have to say. Do you think he's just referring to Project Spartacus, or do you think he's referring to that and something else, or just something else entirely? As I said, I definitely want to see what you guys have to say. Leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.